This RAM crisis is looking like a nightmare for the PS6. Sammy Barker of Push Square. Interesting. It's not been an easy generation for console manufacturers like PlayStation. They're not making games. I don't know what, that has to do with anything. They should focus on making games. They should focus on bringing that value to their customers. Sony has had to contend with, coronavirus and the impact that it subsequently had on supply chains. Bro, they've been shipping consoles. Maybe they've been shipping them to warehouses. I don't know why he brought up that pandemic thing, but whatever. It says, then it's had to deal with rising component costs and U.S. tariffs, and now it's navigating a RAM crisis. While Word is the platform holder, has stockpiled the parts it needs to keep PS5 affordable for the foreseeable future, it looks like the crisis will hit everyone eventually. Micron announced overnight that it will cease supplying RAM and memory to consumers by the end of February 2026, as it reroutes its products to supply AI-driven data centers instead. So Micron is not going to dump PlayStation or Xbox if, that is, they are the ones that make RAM for them. So I don't know why everybody is freaking out. We already know prices have been soaring due to OpenAI's deals with other manufacturers like Samsung, which will see it buy 40% of the world's global supply of RAM, and now less options will be made available to consumers. Okay, here's a statement. Micron's EVP and Chief Business Officer, Sumit Sadana, announced his decision. It says the AI-driven growth in the data center has led to a surge in demand for memory and storage. Micron has made the difficult, decision to exit the crucial consumer business in order to improve supply and support for our larger strategic customers in faster growing segments. Thanks to a passionate community of consumers, the crucial brand has become synonymous with technical leadership, quality, and reliability of leading edge memory and storage products. We would like to thank our millions of customers, hundreds of partners, and all of the Micron team members who have supported the crucial journey for the last 29 years. This is a strategic move to probably go ahead and downsize in some aspects while they ramp up in this area. When the AI bubble bursts, Crucial is going to show back up on your Walmart pickup order. Don't worry. Man, this is the beauty of economics. Economics is so wild because the market is this real thing that you must deal with. Doesn't matter who you are, right? And so as much as these guys are chasing down a bubble, as much as these guys are chasing down this fad, they still have to contend with the reality that at some point you can't have infinite demand. And that's the basis. Demand and supply are these two forces that literally push and pull and tell you, bro, you cannot just sit here and continue to farm infinite dollars from data centers. At some point, someone is going to have to say, man, I can't build any more data centers anymore, man. This is just how it's going to have to be. Or they have to increase their prices on their consumer products for whatever services they're giving, right? And the consumers may say, we're not paying you that money. Why? Because we can live without it. At the end of the day, AI and all of its, AI applications and use cases have an end user, which is the customer, which is somewhere, you're somewhere as the customer, right? And that's what it is. Who all wants to use AI that will not eventually get the AI, tools that they need? They're going to eventually get it. They're going to get the infrastructure that they feel is, sufficient for them. And then the players are going to come back into the consumer market. Now, maybe they have like an 8-10 year thing going on. Okay, that's fine. Another player will find a way to meet the market segment for the user, right? DDR3 is now starting to get a lot of talk. While this is likely to hit consumer PC market hardest, Sony is absolutely going to be impacted by rising costs. As a major manufacturer, it obviously has an advantage over regular consumers as it will be buying parts in bulk and will benefit from economies of scale. But it's just another potential impending headache for the PS6. Oh, did you just want to write an article? You did. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, one thing that I also want to go ahead and laugh at is I remember when I was actually, talking about PC builds and saying, hey man, let's go ahead and talk about, these builds, and I was recommending DDR4. I remember a lot of people were like saying, nah, man, DDR4 is just not really great, blah, 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 blah. And I get it. DDR5 is better. The problem, though, right, that people are facing now, if you're in the DDR5 space and maybe you want to upgrade, is you're paying real exorbitant prices. Now, DDR4, we're paying, higher prices, exorbitant in a sense, but it's nothing close to that. In fact, if you want to build right now, I recommend DDR4 because other price components, are seeing some shifts that can give you a benefit and still even out your cost. That's one thing about, the decentralization at the end of the day of, of the PC component market. And I think that's always helpful for the customer at the end of the day. But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and just highlight that video. I want to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching the video. And hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.